Okay, I am back here now. What happened is I I guess I was running out of space, and this is an Android I'm using. I'm not used to Androids, as I said. I'm used to the Apple, and so I had my time because I thought maybe it had stopped recording, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? So, and it had stopped recording, but I wasn't quite sure why it had stopped. No, I thought I hadn't recorded. That's what I was like, oh, did I do it again? Where I didn't record myself this whole time? I was like, so I was like, oh, but this is like way over my, because I'm kind of like I say, everything is like, woo, brand new. I'm inside of my world has like became like here. So when your world gets like that, oh wow. And then you still hold it together, you know what I'm saying? You don't lose it. Do not lose it. That would be the wrong thing to do. Hold it together, no matter what. Don't let it go. I tell you, because you are the magician. I need a drink of water. You are the magician. So, and I didn't smoke anything while I was, whatever I was doing, tampering with the Android, just attempting to figure it out because it is so brand new to me. I'm channeling up, saying, hey, come on, I need a little hand down here. I'm like, okay. So when I'm messing with electronics, I don't smoke, okay? So I didn't smoke nothing. The thing is that I'm here and I'm going through the evolving just as you are. And I'm making my change in my reality. I'm taking on a world that's beyond what you see outside, because I have walked into a body that was incarnated here, such as your bodies. That gets a little creepy too when I tell you about that. But however, your body is, like I said, your body's not yourself. So you have come in here and I'm in the same type of body, but I walked in. That's the only difference is I walked in and you possibly incarnated. Two different ways that you can get in here. I mean, no, I'll take that back. You can get in a lot of different ways. But at one point you could. They were sneaking in. They did a lot of things to your planet, your spaceship. Or at the time when it happened, it was this planet. Okay? When it all went down. Now you're on the spaceship, I believe. Well, to bring it into the where you can see the planets as being spaceships, gods. They all of those same as you are. You have been many different things. You've been plants. You've been animal. Only in the physical reality where you are bringing the source into matter. You bring it into a matter, you know what I'm saying? So once it matters, that's when it becomes in a greater reality or higher reality. So I'm telling you, woo, you are going to have a fight on your hands. Me too. your life to the test. And is it your life? Or is it the life of the source? Which one you have decided to be? You know, you got to wake up. And you got to know that that body is not the being of the conscious. Now, do you believe that you have a conscious? A lot of people do. But is it awake? Or is it shut down? Is it sleeping? You know what I'm saying? Most likely it is. Okay? And there is a certain way that you have to awaken your conscious and to come from out of the reality that you're spelled inside of, and where you have where you're living in a delusion, and seeing the world as it is, you know, when it's not as it is. Okay. So I just had the time, and I have been having the time. This has been a fight. Fight. For who though? Which part of me isn't fighting? Which part of me? You know, we still got the ego, which is your masculine energy, which wants to take control and has been controlling the masculine energy for many, 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 many years, or however many you want to go back, seconds, you know. But yeah, the masculine energy has been in more of the controlling energy, and it has blocked the feminine energy off from your heart chakra, from you experiencing the feminine energy that you have within you and your consciousness as the whole being that you are living in the body. You have a feminine energy and you have a masculine energy. So your masculine energy has blocked your feminine energy off from not allowing you to be into yourself, to your heart, to live in the true love of the wholeness of who you are as the soul conscious of source, of thought, of the source energy brought into a physical reality, to be into an experience, to examine itself, to bring itself forth in any dilemma of way of seeing or being in the life of itself in any way that it chooses to. But allowing the source to allow it to bring itself forth inside of you as the thought of its source thought, which is not just the body. You got, you know. And so when you're in church and you think that in church you have put on the spirituality, but that is only a version of the spirituality. You're not having the conversion of the spirituality. And you must take on the conversion of it and be converted, okay? And so you have to part yourself, the two of you, and look and know that you got two, okay? And recognize the energy of the masculine and the feminine. And you have to recognize the operation of how they both operate, and learning them to how they are in energy form. And then you must take them and bring them into one, so that they can merge as the two into one, back to the one. Because remember, you're numbered. You shouldn't be numbered. Numbered into what? You know, it's so much to knowing the real, true source, the real whole source of yourself, you know. and the wholeness is, and if you have been brought to the fragment of what you are today, and you have been reduced to that little fragment, how do you see yourself so huge? You know what I'm saying? But you must. Like a little thought, you've been brought into created force, way of life, or source, either way. And now you are like put into evolving source energy, or however way you want to bring it, and it has to wake itself up, or it has to start to shake it. Remember what I said, how they movement and sound. So in learning how all it comes together, you gotta go back and begin to recognize movement and sound, because that's where you find source at. I mean, true, you find it in the movement and the sound. That's where it's at. Woo. Because that's how it all comes into that togetherness, you see? Movement and sound, that's it. And that's beautiful once you see. Oh, I tell you, it's beautiful. Yeah. Find the true essence of the true source in all things, all smells, all tastes, all everything in life that it is. What do you see that is not in source of itself? Come on, do you see anything? You can't. What do you see? You see resource. You do not see source, but yet you do. Because in the resource, as it is, there is source. See? Do you see? That's how you have to wake up. And you begin to look behind the four walls of the building, or of the house. You look at your house, and you look at the measurements, and you look at that 4 square, and you wonder, why do they all have to have 4 squares, huh? Come on, let's get serious here, right? My recording, I don't know what I'm doing with this thing. Oh, I hurt my knee again. So let me see if I can move it around so you can see me a little more. Ooh, oh my gosh. When you, remember I said when you're starting up something, if you're going to start something, keep it going. Don't stop. Because then you're not passionate enough for it, You got to be more passionate for what you really desire. Woo! You got to be ready for it. You got to hang in there. I tell you, woo! Especially after you first get the startup. Remember what I said? I don't know if I told you about it, but, I'm going to repeat things a lot of times because I'm not going to remember what I tell you. But remember, I said that a building, I said a church, a marriage, and a business is all built the exact same formula. Trust me. If you build a business and you have a certain set of formula how it works from president down, whew, you better know that family, the church and everything is set into the same structure. But that structure didn't start here on this spaceship. Of course not. Not even on the planet that which originally come from, which has been Mars, you know. And my reality for now it is it takes us. We got to go back, and in order to go back, you got to go back way back. You got to go back to the beginning, like I did when it wasn't me, but the one that was in here at the time that she was in the body. The other me would have been Queen Shiva, but you call her Barbara. So she, in her awakening, she come back to find herself. And in looking for herself, she found the me of herself, which is the source of herself. So in her reality, she realized that somehow the maker who created her and the big old world that she lives in, and that huge world as big as it is, was not living in that world, because how could they possibly live in that world if they was the creator of it? It didn't make sense to her. So she's like, what? This doesn't make sense. This world is huge that I'm in. I mean, it's huge. Or is it? How huge has I made it to be? Did I make it huge just in my reality of the little town that I live in? Or the city? You see? When do you ever look outside of your window in the box that you're living in? Do you ever go out just for a breath of fresh air when you get home from work? Anything? What's the world? Come on. You need to stop. You got to slow it down. You can't get here unless you slow it down. Show me. I know. I've been locked in here for 5. I don't know how many months. I'm about to lose it. No. It has been a journey, but I've had to come in and do what I had to do to get here. I couldn't have come back into this place. And I'm still fighting. Remember that old story they had with Abraham? Who knows? I'm not saying the Bible is not good, okay? There is many great truths in there. Truths and truth and truth. There's some truth in there. It is truth in that Bible. Truth, I'm telling you. But it's more in the Old Testament than it is in the New. That's where you got to go back. It's been kind of flip-flopped on you, okay? And you got to see the outside, the matrix of reality to understand or to see. I don't like using the word understand because it's been tampered with. With the Illuminati, they knew what I'm talking about. So anyway, a lot of your whole world been tampered with. All your language been tampered with. Been tampered with. Oh yeah, been tampered with. And as long as you continue to believe that you are the body and the man that looks in the mirror, which we shouldn't be looking in the mirror, we really shouldn't, and I have been guilty. And my higher self said, do not be looking in this mirror. Oh, really? Yeah, I know. Okay, well, it's a portal, okay? Okay, I understand. We go through that. But so, because I have the warrior fighter in me. Listen, I tend not to want to fight with my higher self because who's gonna win? Okay, not me. Of course not, and not in no language or in no timeline. You do not win. Only your higher self will take the reins, and they will win. Why? Because they have been in the cycle of where you at already. And you are coming back in for an experience in this tiny little self of yourself. And now you're going back into you merge back into the higher of yourself, back into the true being of conscious that really of the character of who you truly are. And there you have many. Yet in this timeline, you're playing one. Now, which one are you playing? You must find your character. Who knows? Until I see you. Yeshua's very good at it. He can find Yeshua. Oh, speaking of Yeshua, oh my goodness. Woo. Oh, we do go through. He's my, Yeshua. Ooh, we go through. And I love him. I love him the most, I do. Yet we can't live together. We really can't. We awaken together, and I can see the analogy of it. I can see the analogy of it because he had to be there at the time that the other conscious of me, which would have been Barbara, in your eyes, but it would have been Queen Shiva. And for her to come to the full awaken, okay? She had already begun her awaken from the numbers that I remember telling you about, the 222s. And she had made some seriously drastic changes in just in that alone, and then not being in the church very much because she was living away from the church where she had to be in Naperville with the husband that she was with. And she awakened to the dance, to Zuma, which comes back to the Shiva, which is the me, the Lord Shiva. Shiva created the dance. Remember the movement, the sound. That's what I'm introducing it to you for, because so you can see what is it that's in it. And then they stop you. They put you in a cradle. How dare! Remember the story of Moses? Huh? Do you remember that one? Where he said, leave your family, leave your children. Then Moses says, no, we're not leaving them, we're taking them with us. They got them anyway, man. See? They took them from you anyway. You lost them, huh? Yeah. That's what happened. Remember I said I'm going to tell you who they is. One day I'm going to let you know. So yeah, they took the people. They took your parents. Look at your homes. Your nursing homes and your senior places. What? You see? You walked away from them. Left them behind. They built homes out of them, made you pay for them. You see? They put a mask over your face. Oh yeah, they did it. They did a good job of it too, I'll tell you. Woo! Build the jails for you. Well, I ain't gonna tell you. You gotta know right now. Yeah. Got you getting them in school, Tell you what to do with them. You can't do nothing or you go to jail. And they're poking them with vaccinations all the time. It's killing them right in front of you. You don't even know it. Oh, you've done a job on you, honey. But they believe they're doing the right thing. They don't know, really, they don't, honestly. They're doing it right. Because it's about the dollar. Remember that, the money, the dollar. The paper that they print. It's all about that. They printed it. Yeah, honey, they got it set for you. Perfect. Perfect stage. Whew. Perfect stage. All for your spelling. Your indoctrinated life. Your painted life. Make you think what it is and that's not. So, anyway. That's what it is, honey. I tell you. It's been quite a day, so I'm going to stop for now. Because, as I said, the electronics and everything. Plus, I need to eat breakfast. I did eat a little breakfast, but I probably need to go eat lunch. So, I will stop, have a break. And then I'll come back maybe later today, and we'll maybe do some more workouts, you know. I don't know. Depends on how my day goes. As I say, you know, I'm in a war for myself. Back to me, a fight to get back home, back to the me. And to leave none behind if possible, you know. That's what it is. We gotta look out for the collective, not for just me, for all that's me, you know. So I gotta bring them back into that whole. So anyway, have a break if you want, and then maybe I will come back on this one. I'm not sure because I don't know how to work it yet. So if I come back, I may come back on a whole nother video. In the meantime, namaste. I'll be back later.